All right, what is going on? REI Marketing Weekly newsletter subscribers, thanks for jumping on to today's Who's Crushing It interview. So I got my good buddy he's actually in Southern California, and he's currently he's actually about to go on duty as a firefighter. So that's pretty cool. But he invests in Boise, Idaho, which is a very interesting topic to talk about altogether. But I wanted to bring Tyler on to talk about some videos that we shot with him. So so I actually visited Tyler up in Boise. So we met up in Boise, and for a full, I think it was like a day and a half more of, we shot videos throughout the day for his marketing, for him to be able to use that in his marketing. So his website, social media stuff, and then also his funnels. So that's actually a thing I'm going to have him talk about a little bit, because some of the videos that we shot are meant to go inside of his funnel, which is more of a follow-up sequence. So one of the videos, and I'll let him talk about this, but a couple of the videos we did were him saying, "Hey, thanks for filling out the lead form. We haven't heard from you in a while, so we'd like to get back in contact with you." You know, I'm paraphrasing there, but that's kind of the synopsis of it. And that is a great follow-up form, because we talk about follow-up and sales and marketing go hand in hand. But we talk about follow-up and sales and how important that is. And sometimes you got to touch them 6, 7, 8, 9 times in order to get the deal closed. This type of video that we're having shoot with Tyler, and by the way, this was his idea, not my idea. So I took that away. But these videos that we're shooting, that's an extra touch in that process. And so I think it's a great idea. I don't know anybody else that's doing it, so I'm interested to see kind of what happens with that. But I strongly believe that, there's going to be a lot of traction with that kind of content. So first of all, Tyler, appreciate you jumping on, man. Thanks for taking some time to be on the interview today. Good friend of mine, just new friends. It's been a couple months that we've met, and it's great. Brandon Barnes, a good friend of both of ours, introduced us. But do me a quick favor. So 30 seconds to 60 seconds, introduce yourself real quick. What you do, what you do in SoCal, but also what you're doing in Boise, and then we'll just jump right into the topic.
No problem. Well, my name is Tyler Thrush. I currently work full-time as a firefighter in Southern California. And then, like Josh said, I am flipping and wholesaling homes in Boise remotely, trying to do about 2 to 3 deals a month out there.
That's awesome. So let's talk about this. So let's talk about the videos that we shot. And guys, this is not me trying to sales pitch anything. I just thought the ideas that Tyler had while we were there shooting the videos, and I helped give some ideas. We jumped on a call prior to me coming out, but we came up with some ideas there. But then he had his own ideas with some things, and one of those ideas was these videos that we were shooting for his follow-up sequence. So Tyler, kind of talk about the importance of the content that's going out in your follow-up sequences, and maybe why you even came up with the idea to shoot that kind of a video while we were out there.
No problem. Yeah. So when we were shooting the videos, I was thinking, and I had been thinking for a while, that I wanted to up my follow-up and kind of stand out. And I thought video would be a good way to do it. I just wanted to engage the seller and maybe do something that kind of would, wake them up a little bit. So we shot a couple of videos just letting them know that, hey, it'd been a while since we had spoke, and if you had any questions, please reach out to me. I wanted to do it just because I do feel it's different. And then two, it kind of puts a face to the name. There's me emailing, texting, and calling them, but it's just a constant reminder, hey, I'm a real person. I'm here to help you. And I thought it would just be a good way to augment everything else that I'm doing and hopefully increase my response rate.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you mentioned put a face to the name. So those of you who are virtual wholesalers, I was just having a conversation at a mastermind that I'm at this week. I was having a conversation last night about that, about closing over the phone versus closing in person, belly to belly. And, there's people that swear by both sides. So there's people that swear that, closing on the phone is the way to go, and then they will never close in person. And then there's people on the other side that are always going to close in person, they're never going to close over the phone. So with that, Tyler, I think it's important, like you said, to put a face to the name. And video is absolutely an excellent way to make that happen. So I think that's important. So have you gotten any kind of resistance from sellers that when you're virtually wholesaling or trying to, acquiring, so the acquisition side of it, have you gotten any resistance from sellers thinking like, I want to meet you in person, I want to see who you are and that kind of thing? Have you ever come across that at all?
Not yet. I've never had anybody ask specifically that they have to meet me in person, but I think I've tried to take care of that up front by having myself on the website, having myself call and introduce myself and let them know, hey, although I'm the owner of the company, so-and-so is going to come meet you there. And I'm just always trying to set the expectation of who's actually going to go meet them and take care of it on the front side. That way there isn't that, well, why isn't he here? Or I let them know, hey, I'm the owner, but we do have somebody else coming out to the property. And with that video, I also wanted to introduce that person to where there's no anxiety or any doubt as far as who's going to come next. And I think you alleviate that concern of, well, why aren't you coming? If you just explain to them, hey, for me, it's Danny. Danny's going to be out there tomorrow. He'll walk the property with able to offer, and he'll take care of all those things. And I think as long as you're always keeping the seller informed of what the next step is, a lot of those questions and fears that they may have are alleviated. I think when there's a lack of communication or there's doubt, then they're going to start asking questions. Well, why aren't you here? You're the one who called me. You're the one who texted me. I only want to speak with you.
That's really vital. So there are a couple of things that I want to sit on real quick, and then we'll wrap this up and let you go here. So the first thing is the branding side of it. So Tyler didn't name his business Tyler Buys Houses. Now, at some point, maybe that was a true scenario, but by not doing that, by naming it's Boise Buys Houses, right?
Boise House Buyers, yes.
Boise
and that
House
was
Buyers.
intentional too.
Yeah. Right, exactly. So because of that, he's able to send somebody else to go to the property to close on the deal if the seller wants to meet somebody in person. And I think a lot of people get that, that idea in their head that they need to have their name tied to it. Now, for me, like Color Media, that's my last name, Color, but it's a play on words, right? So it's meant to be that, and nobody knows who. Like, I didn't say Josh Media. It's Color Media. And even if Tyler wanted to add his last name to that, it'd still be okay. But adding a first name to it represents you as the brand and tells people that Tyler is always going to be the one that buys my house. And if Tyler's not here, if somebody else is, if Josh is there, then, it throws the branding off. So keeping that consistent, allowing yourself to be pulled out of the business so that you can do this virtually and send somebody that has boots on the ground in your market out there is important. The next thing that I wanted to chat about real quick, and then we'll wrap it up with this, Tyler, because I know we got to let you go, is doing videos for the process of the closing. So that's one of the things that we did, and that's one of the things that I have had all my clients do is do videos for so we did a video for the entire overview of the closing process, right? So from start to finish, what can a seller expect if they're going to sell their house to me? But we also did videos for each step, so individual steps. So we talked about closing costs. So we did one video specifically on closing costs. We did one video specifically on do you have to sell with a realtor? We did one video specifically on the benefits of selling to an investor. How fast can you close? That kind of stuff. How vital do you think that is for somebody to implement into their marketing? Like, why would we shoot videos like that? And shoot content that has that kind of information? Like, what are the benefits of doing that?
I think it's extremely vital. I think we're answering questions that we know the seller has. And a lot of the time, I think when you're creating your marketing and your website and things like that, people kind of want to hopefully avoid having to answer those questions. But I think it shows, hey, I'm upfront. Here's the answer to these questions. I'm not hiding anything. I want you to know exactly how our process works and what to expect from us. You're just adding that credibility, and you're adding another layer of trust. Like, hey, this person is speaking directly to what I'm unsure of, and they're letting me know how it will work with them specifically. And then as far as process goes throughout the whole transaction, you're not allowing them to maybe get a little nervous that the deal won't close, or that if there's any delays, you're taking them and you're holding their hand throughout the entire process, whether it's on the front end, answering questions that they have before they decide to go with you, or as the process goes through from the start of escrow to close, you're letting them know what to expect every single week. So at the end of it, it was like, well, wow, they explained to me what was going to happen before I said yes. They explained to me what was going to happen throughout the whole process. And at the end of the process, our goal obviously is to have all those things that we explained to them ring true. And I think it helps with a huge thing is A, you're going to convert more, and then B, you're going to have less fallout. We all focus so hard on getting the deal under contract. I think it's vital that you focus on limiting fallout as well. And this is just one way that you can do it, is explain what's going on using video. And I think video is powerful because some people just don't respond well to long text and explaining the whole process. But if you shoot a quick 1 to 2 minute video letting them know what's going to happen, I think a lot of sellers will respond to that.
Man, that's huge. Yeah, thank you for sharing that. That is awesome. So one thing that I want to recap with this, and then we're completely done. So a lot of people think content marketing is just putting posts out on social media. Content marketing is meant to be that top of the funnel that is the gateway to people making a decision with you. So 70% of all transactional decisions made, period, are done before they even come in contact with a company. So you guys got to conceptualize that, which means that the buyers and sellers we're in an information age where they can do research on a company like nobody's business. And if you don't have content out there, if you don't have videos, if you don't have blogs, if you don't have any reviews or anything like that, you're going to kind of get thrown on the wayside, and people are going to go with somebody else that's more reputable online, even if that reputation is just something that you built by putting content out there. So going through that process with them through these videos is extremely powerful, because you're basically, like Tyler said, answering their questions. That's what content is meant to do. It's meant to be your 24-hour salesman who never takes a break, never goes on vacation, never asks off for being sick. He's always going to be there to answer those questions, and that's what content is meant to do. So Tyler, man, I appreciate you being on, and I appreciate you sharing everything that you did. Real quick, if you don't mind, if somebody wanted to get in contact with you just to, connect with you, maybe they are in Boise, maybe they're in Southern California, maybe want to have a cup of coffee or whatever, what would be the best way to connect with you, via email or Facebook or whatever?
Sure. My Facebook is Tyler Andrew, and then my email address is probably the best. That's tyler@tylerbuysboisehomes.com, and they can shoot an email, and I would be happy to speak with them.
Sounds good. So guys, I will link Tyler's Facebook page, so his Facebook profile, in the description below. So if you guys want to connect with him, make sure you do. Super cool dude. Good friend of mine. Sent me some brownies, so I appreciate that. After, like, that's like customer service, but it's like the reverse. I should have been the one that sent him brownies. So I got to figure that out. Anyway, so Tyler, thanks for being on, man. I appreciate your time, and thank you for sharing everything you did. Look, I'll make sure to have you back again soon, and looking forward to come back to Boise at some point. So great. And then for you guys that are watching right now, make sure you check out the rest of the newsletter. A lot of great content going down there. And see you guys next week. Take it easy.